This week we'll be covering sexual orientation, but before we get into the lecture topic for this week, I wanted to provide you with a few resources. Gender and sexuality terminology has been rapidly evolving over the last few decades. As we begin to understand sexuality better, we develop more terms that encompass the various scopes of sexuality. So I've attached a few links that will provide you with some good resources for exploring terminology. Additionally, there are some pretty good resources in Pocatello and through ISU for the LGBTQ plus community and its allies. If you check out this ISU link, you'll see resources such as Southeastern Idaho Pride and Your Lessons Now, which is an organization that helps people sort of find their voice by doing things like increasing how feminine and masculine it sounds. So, as a special topic for this week, I wanted to give you all a brief overview of sexual fluidity. Our sexuality can change over time, and these changes may come in the form of who we're attracted to. For example, we might be attracted to one gender at one point in time, and then later be attracted to a different gender. We also might see changes in our identity labels. For example, someone who identifies as lesbian may later identify as bisexual. And our sexual behavior can change. We might have a sexual partner who is cisgender, and then later we have a sexual partner who is non-binary. Sexual fluidity happens for many different reasons. It might be because you meet new people and discover new attractions, or you learn a new identity label that better fits your experience. Sexual fluidity doesn't mean that sexual orientation doesn't exist. It just means that our sexuality is a dynamic experience. We may change with time and grow to know ourselves better and be exposed to experiences that allow us to understand ourselves on a deeper level, which might mean experiencing a shift in sexual attraction, behavior, and identity. Sexual fluidity is something that is experienced across genders. Originally, it was thought that women were more sexually fluid than men, but we're now seeing that the rates are pretty similar. It's hard to pinpoint how common fluidity is because it's a difficult topic to research. This might be due to definitions or people's interpretations of their experiences and the measures that we have available. So, what even counts as sexual fluidity? A study conducted by Diamond et al. 2020 compared 4 different types of sexual fluidity. Those 4 types are listed here. It's important to note that only one of these is associated with bisexuality, and that is erotic responsiveness to a less preferred gender. This study specifically focused on women and found that women with bisexual attractions were not more likely to show any of the other types of fluidity. It's even been argued that this type of sexual fluidity might actually not be fluidity, but just bisexuality. The second form of fluidity, so situational variability to a woman's attractions, if someone has greater situation vulnerability in their erotic responsiveness, they experience different sexual responses in different contexts. So their arousal depends on the specific situation they find themselves in. In this study, people who identified with this type of sexual fluidity reported that they had sex for the first time earlier than those who identified with other types of sexual fluidity, and that they had a greater number of sexual partners. So this may be because situational sexual fluidity may increase the number of opportunities for sexual contact. The third form refers to someone's sexual attraction to their sexual behavior. So someone may be sexually attracted to their non-preferred gender, but not sexually act on that, or vice versa. When this type of sexual fluidity occurs, it's impossible to know whether this reflects someone's desires, their responsiveness to unexpected opportunities, social pressures, or the dynamics of a specific relationship. So a bit more research needs to be conducted on this type of fluidity. The last one, temporal instability in attractions, is the least understood. This type of fluidity says that our patterns move, change, and settle before changing again as time goes on. So our sexual attractions might change at certain times for various reasons. So you can see sexual fluidity can manifest in a couple of ways.